Hey there. This has been a highly anticipated video, to say the least. If you saw the picture that I posted on Tuesday, and I was asking you to guess why a lot of this is all browning out. Actually, you can see back here, that was a good, right over in that way. It's all browning out. If you go all the way up, we're gonna walk up this way. As we walk up and you look down the streets, each street is the same way. It doesn't matter. So some of the comments that we got were that the properties were over fertilized, and so typically when fertilization companies, they get granular on the sidewalks, they are actually required to blow that off. So excess gets pushed, to the sides, each side, and that can cause a lawn to burn. That is very possible. Other people said salt. That is very possible. You wouldn't see that this late in the season. You would see dead grass, as early as the spring. But let's look. You see how down this street? It's all brown all the way down. Okay. The same thing. You can't really see it too well in the video, but all down in here, it's all brown no matter where you go. So it's no one person's fault of what this is. This isn't caused by tire tracks, by big mowers. Actually, both of these people mow their own yards, so it's not caused by big landscaping companies' mower tracks. It's not caused by the fertilization company. I can't think of the other ones that people said. But there was a bunch of comments. If you want to go back, look on the Facebook post, and you'll see all the different comments. A lot of them were actually very good, very valid theories of what can cause it. One that I thought was really interesting was the way that the sun is shining on it, and if that could cause it, and that's not. Another one was, could the sidewalk be pitched one way or the other? So, or be pitched in a way that it's taking all the water away, so there's no water getting to that area. Another one was, if they didn't put enough base, or they put so much base concrete, because you have to put base rock down before you put the concrete, and it went too far over, and then they just laid sod straight on top of it, and there was no soil underneath it. Those are all extremely valuable, valid arguments for this. But this one it's a little simpler. It's staring you right in the face. It's this right here, okay? We're working on this right here. So this is the concrete, and the concrete is what is causing you to see all these lines right here. This concrete gets so incredibly hot in the heat, with the sun and in the heat of the summer. Last week it was 97 degrees and it felt like 107 at some times. And it was just, we got a heat wave last week. And so the concrete gets incredibly, incredibly hot. The same reason why I don't always recommend putting rocks in flower beds and then putting plants in, because those rocks will get so incredibly hot that they will literally just burn, as you can see, burn the plant life that is in that. That's all that's happening here. This is just all being burnt up by this concrete. The concrete, the rocks, they get so hot that it sucks all the moisture out of the ground. And then these are literally just burning. And that's why it's so brown. Now, the one way that you can combat this, the only way that you can combat this, is that you have to irrigate your lawn. You don't have to go spend thousands of dollars on an irrigation system. You can go to the store, you can buy some hoses, you can put sprinklers out, you can put them on timers, and you can have them go off automatically. But it sounds really silly, but if you keep the temperature of the concrete down, it won't brown out all of the grass. Same thing within the middle of the yard, but you don't get it as frequently in the middle of the yard because there's no concrete. But this concrete gets so hot that's why it burns that over there. Same thing if you put rocks in your garden bed in the heat of the summer, at least in Indiana, you have to water them. You have to keep the temperature. What the water does is it keeps the temperature of those rocks, the stones, the concrete down so that it does not bake the plant life. And if you're going to spend a ton of money to either put in sod, freshly seed your lawn, or you're putting in a flower bed, and instead of putting mulch down, which helps retain moisture, you want to put in rock because you don't want to have to remulch every single year. It is cheaper in the long run because it'll last there for a long time, but it can bake any plant life that you put in there, shrubs, the whole and everything. So if you're going to put rocks in a garden bed, make sure you irrigate them. If you're starting to get streaks like this, you need to make sure that it is watered properly. Now, here's the other thing. In this HOA, this side back here was built first, and then I think about 7 years later, this side was built. That's why there's no mature trees on this side, and there's mature trees over here. And if you're on this side of the HOA, these sidewalks aren't burning up all the grass. But since there's no coverage for these sidewalks, there's no tree coverage, it's just getting pounded and pounded with the sun, and that's what's causing it. So the only way to get rid of that is to irrigate, and that could cost you a lot of money in the long run. But all those other answers were very valid, but the cause of this is a little easier than you might think. But you know, landscapers, we get blamed for this all the time. They say, hey, you trim too close to the ground. Well, all this is all cut at the same height. You know, this is all cut at the same height, so it's not that we're trimming too close to the ground. It's not that our machines are too heavy and it's tire marks. It's none of that. It's not the landscaper's fault. It's not your fertilization company's fault. It's literally just that we can't control the heat here. So that's what causes it. So anyways, hope you guys learned something today. Hope you got something out of this, and look forward to the future videos that we will be producing. These videos will start coming out once a week. If you have any interesting topics that you would like us to talk about, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and we will try as best we can to get that on the list of questions that we are going to answer for you guys. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.